let's see what we have here today. This will be the last day of this series, the last reading of the series, 9th day of Navratri, a retrospective somewhere, I think around day 5. I missed day 5, and so we're running one day late. Today is actually the 10th day, which we celebrate as a victory of light over darkness, a victory of Lord Ram over the Asura Ravan. He defeated Ravan on this day. That's why we celebrate Diwali, so that everybody lit lamps along the street so that they would find their way back home. So beautiful. The energy is beautiful. We've overcome so much. The energy is just amazingly beautiful, gorgeous energy. It's the energy of victory, of good over evil. Bring love into the situation. Yeah, just care for yourself more. Love, bring about love into your present day life situation. This could basically mean, like, new moon in Aquarius. Cut out, like, let technology help you put up some sort of boundaries, or express things that need to be expressed. So in order for you to heal, in order for you to communicate out into the world what has been happening with you, and what has troubled you, bothered you, hurt you in this human experience, right? Surrender to the divine. Was this full moon? The next full moon is going to be phenomenal, all right? I might just continue shooting this video, with the Moonology cards on a regular basis, facing my back towards the window, so y'all can see. Adjustments are required. Yes, you're going to start a brand new life without negativity, without toxicity, in a state of balance where there was, life was off balance before. It's going to feel different, it's going to feel different, and you're going to have to adjust, make adjustments, of your routines, your day-to-day. Maybe you'll have finally let go of the work, the people you were connected with that took up most of your time in life, and you were accommodating for them. And now that they have been removed, you have to adjust. You have to you're going to have to incorporate a lot of self-care, self-nurturing, and self-enhancement, life-enhancing connections. You're going to have to start adjusting for that, because you can't be feeling vacant after such a big purge, or a haul over, it's like a haul haul out rather. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. So the new moon in Sagittarius season, we're just in Scorpio season, and the third quarter moon. Are we in the third quarter moon right now? Maybe. I don't know. So I need to also start keeping a track of the moon cycles, where we are at. So I think practicing with this deck and doing more readings with this deck will help me do that, And there are others as well, the astro codes. Do you see that? I want to learn that those oracle cards as well. I have studied, I mean, I've got a good hang of tarot cards, right? But the oracle cards, I think it's going to take some more time. And also these fairy Lenormand cards. When the backdrop is trees and such, and for Christmas I'm going to have, like, little trees here, somewhere around here where we can see, maybe on the floor here behind. I'll get a couple of boxes and I'll put them up there, and like have trees, like, there. Anyway, so with the trees, I can see the trees whenever I look at the screen, and I look at the small temple for Lord Ganesh that I have in front of me, and I see a lot of Ganesh, like there's pictures, there's a lot of things, the symbology. It kind of gets me more, it gets me to connect more with the fairy Lenormand Oracle, like the answers come out very clearly. Well, tarot, it doesn't mind, like I could be like, standing on top of a bus, like while it's moving, or a train, and be able to read tarot cards and a message through it. What do you need to release? Like I said, adjustments are going to have to be made. I think we're still releasing a lot of energies out of our life, a lot of connections out of our life, right? I feel like, somebody's going from being in a relationship which is supposed to last long term, and then suddenly it's gone, and you're having to make adjustments, have to release some sort of thought patterns, behavior patterns, routine that you might have gotten used to, especially like, if it was a bad breakup, like, all the confrontation and conversations of fighting and argument. If that is still going on, you need to kind of release all of that out of your system. Waning moon. Well, this would be after the full moon. So I kind of feel like, this is the process of like new moon to full moon, right? There's a lot that's happening right now. And after the full moon, this is what is going to start happening, right? And then finally, you're being asked to bring love into the situation here. So this is what the first half of the Scorpio season is going to look like. A major portion of the Scorpio season, rather, going to look like for us this year. Oh, and we have new moon and full moon in Sagittarius right next to each other. All right. So the full moon, the 2 weeks from a new moon in Sagittarius season, a new moon and full moon in Sagittarius season. Look at the bigger picture. Like, I think that this would be a time where you are settled into the new life, where you've adjusted for a life without that toxic and overbearing past life of yours. So like, if a bunch of relationships were supposed to last for a very long time in your life, and especially like, if you have lost a life partnership, right, it could be a marriage or an engagement, or a long-term, like a romantic relationship, or it could have been a long-term friendship where you were used to accommodating or being aware at certain portions of the year, or like calling up and checking up on this person, or if it was a business partnership and 1001, as I said that. And if it was a long-term, like, you business partnership, and then you had plans for the future, like, you know, according to you, this is what you're supposed to do. If this person's in your life, this is what was going to be your plan for your career or your business, right? If you were a pair with your colleagues at work, like, you know, you had a team, and that entire team, like, you know, you've separated, you've moved to another department, and then your life is going to be completely different. You've taken a different, it could be all, I see a lot of long-term in relationships in many aspects sort of ending. Some of you might be sensing that you all are removing yourself from a family structure and only keeping in touch with the real connections within the family, and otherwise, like, you know, you are no longer doing it for politeness and mannerisms, and, you know, for keeping the peace. So you're adjusting, I think you're adjusting your mind, your thoughts and your emotions and your thoughts to release them. Like, you are not giving them that emotion, those emotions and or thoughts. No heart space and no mind space. These connections don't. So you're not going to be making those phone calls on birthdays. You're not going to be feeling that energy coming up on their birthdays or during festivals where you connect with family, right? And you wish them, or even your friends. You're not going to be feeling like, you know, you're not possibly not going to have an RSVP list for a very long time, if you're like, you know, at least for the next 2 or 3 years. You're going to be focusing on releasing all of those patterns. You're not going to be checking up on them if they're okay. If you're feeling low, you're not going to be contacting a big set of people because you're releasing them, okay? And it doesn't have to have been bad, but there is, I mean, it doesn't have to have had any elements of bad blood between you and this person. There might have been some people where you have bad blood with, okay? Those are the relationships that are easy to release. But the ones that are very, very covert, like, you know, you cannot pinpoint at anything that is wrong, the energy dynamics that is wrong between you and this person, because they have never said or done anything which would indicate that, or neither have you, right? But the energy dynamics are just impossible to put in the category of this is suitable for me. It's just inevitably as its true nature. If you describe the true nature of this relationship, which you thought, this friendship, this connection that you thought that was going to be in your life forever, it's just naturally now shown itself to be in the unsuitable category. So you are just like making peace and letting go of this person. How they react after losing you, of course there might be some sort of negative reaction, but if you've already released the connection before they realize that they've lost you, then you can literally start bringing love, pouring love into the situation. 1413, I finally saw it. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. So literally this is what the full moon is going to be like. From here to here. It's literally what the full moon is going to be like. Full moon to the new moon. 1441, as I said that. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. This is the type of full moon we are going to be witnessing. And I'm going to put this card here. Your commitment is being tested. Your commitment towards living this lifetime to its fullest potential. what does that mean? If it only means that you're releasing karmic attachments, if you're releasing toxic soul contracts, if you're ending soul contracts that are keeping you from keeping your soul from walking the journey of love and light, if it's keeping you from enlightenment, if your life has been very stagnant for a very long time, it's an indicator that there is a lot of karmic energy in your environment. If it just means that you are going to literally commit to releasing the karmic energy, whether it is you're doing or not, but you're going to do that light work, you're going to be the light worker, you're going to be that healer, you're going to be that intellectual person, you're going to speak, you're going to communicate, you're going to be that role model who displays, you're going to surrender to divinity, to the divine, and you are going to just take instructions from your higher self and conduct your life, whatever that might look like for you. You're basically being told that your commitment to doing this right in this lifetime is being tested, and it's a very easy test. Like, I don't know how doing the other thing, like the karmic toxic stuff, is difficult. This is easy. This test is easy. All you got to do is be the source of a role model for enlightenment, which means it means all of this. Whoever's connecting with this reading, you will be getting the experience that is needed to fulfill your commitment in this lifetime. The Sun, the Knight of Pentacles. You're on the right path. This ends really well. That's what I'm getting. That's the message that I'm getting right now. This ends really well. So in the end, you are going to possibly be since you're releasing karma, toxic cycles, negativity, right? That's karma, and the toxic soul ties and connections, and clearing the karma in your vicinity, in your environment, in your immediate environment. Wherever you go, you're like this vortex that is clearing karmic energy out of that place, like an exorcist, right? Okay, I want to stop doing that. It felt good doing that. Well, King of Swords. And you're going to have to be vocal about it in an unbiased way, in the sense it's not like their side and my side. Like, you have understood their mind so well. Like, let's say this is there is this local culture, this in the community where you live, where or most of your life you might have been placed in communities, in spaces where very locally, the focal point, the radius might be very small or large, right? You don't know, maybe an entire city, to just the street that you were born in. There was a lot of a narcissistic abuse activity going on, which is basically people were being sent, people gathered from all around the country or the world who have lost a lot due to natural calamities. They have lost identity. They have no records of when they were born, etc. And they're planted in somewhat well-to-do localities whose owners, possibly, the ones who owned buildings and businesses, are not there. The original owners are not there. It possibly belongs to a family trust or something of that nature, right? Then these people are sent there to harass the residents over there. They're squatting in properties that are vacant, and only a narcissist who's literally it's like this, so because of some traumatizing event, they are brainwashed, and their soul is they've basically lost their soul. The sense, what does losing your soul mean? It's like you've completely forgotten, and you can never remember that you are a soul. Like, you can repeat this sentence, that I am a soul who has a body and a mind. These people can repeat the sentence, but you know it at the core, that you are this energy body. For them, they have lost their soul, so they are not, their mind and their body is not connected to the core energy. Okay, there are no life forces. That's why they need to feed. They need to be given a lot of material world validation and support and resources, right? For them to be able to sustain themselves. Now, these people can be trained to go and harass other people. Now, this could be people of another religion, race, political. So this locality supports this political party, and then that locality supports that political party. So they will send somebody from that locality will hire this bunch of people. They will divert these people to this locality to trouble and torment the residents of this locality, and vice versa. So these are all political mind games. Narcissists are used to disrupt businesses, as well as conduct rivalry. Okay, so for people with a soul, it's difficult to understand without in-depth study, without actually putting yourself there right in the middle. That's why your commitment is being tested. This card is coming up quite a bit. You and your loved ones are safe, okay? So if you are one of us who is going and who has actually gone there and researched, been there amongst grand crowds of narcissists, and the people that the narcissistic agenda got through to in your family and your friends, and you still managed to be to come out of it with intelligence, with sort of organized thoughts, and you're able to organize what your observations and your experiences and articulate it or write it down in point form. Of course, it must have been extremely tiring, but you understand it as that, you're just tired. You're just tired from having to figure out all of that toxicity and negativity, so that you can actually submit a report and put it out there online, or talk amongst loved ones or people who it's going to be helpful for, right? You have that awareness, that clarity of the King of Swords. He has mastered his mind. He's mastered the usage of the mind, and is connected to super intelligence, surrendering to divine. Right? The mind does not have control over the soul. The soul is informing the mind. The super soul, the oversoul, is informing the mind. The one soul is informing the mind. Right? It's not just the individual portion of the souls that is karmic memory. It's not even about karmic memory, because most of the star seeds do not have any karmic memory whatsoever. Most of the star seeds do not have. I'm saying most of it because there can be some exceptions. There can be some what is the word? Exceptions. Can be some exceptions, because like a cluster of souls is always telepathically connected in the 3D, right? So one cluster of narcissists is connected with each other telepathically. It's like the hive, and this is the hive of divine counterparts, divine masculines, people who have spent their lifetime in divine masculine polarity. And then there would be the 144,000, they're connected telepathically. And then the star seeds, the indigos, crystal children, rainbow children, like, you know, they all of these clusters are telepathically connected. One amongst them, at least, I feel technically, like, has to have some sort of karma. And one amongst the narcissist cluster has to have retained source. So they are basically playing a double agent. They could be a star seed, but their first incarnation and last incarnation and all the incarnations in between, except for the first incarnation, first incarnation and then second to the last incarnation and all in between have been here on planet Earth. That is just the downloads that I have received about starseeds, divine counterparts especially, right? So in this scenario, like, you know, the starseed that after the first lifetime was always incarnated on Earth has karmic memory, and at the core you're connected with you're with your divine counterpart. No exceptions to this. This is how it is. That is what it is. You are quantum entanglement. They learn something, you learn something. So they were incarnated on Earth, you were incarnated somewhere else always. You still have karmic memory in your soul, because it's direct communication, and they were always there. They know. So if you'll switch places suddenly, and they are in charge of the spiritual warfare that is going on, and you are in charge of the karmic battles that's going on, no problemo, ever, even in the past and even in the future. Right? So one amongst the narcissistic cluster is a double agent, is a divine counterpart, starseed, and your commitment to this journey is being tested. And it's like, I think the divine counterparts, it's not telepathy, it's just like, it's not telepathy, it's just like eternal knowing. It's just eternal knowing. And on Earth, being incarnated on Earth in the 3D plane just makes it very easy to comprehend karma, and especially somebody who has had such a in-depth knowledge and experience. But for a starseed, that can be a starseed who's probably incarnated for the first and the last time here on Earth, because that soul is now done with incarnations, right? That is why the starseed would incarnate in because they've got the in the last incarnation, the soul or the divine counterparts have to be together, right, to create that energetic momentum to leave the cycle of birth, life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth, the cycle of incarnation and reincarnation. That's why they need to meet and actually live a considerable amount of time together to do work together, like clear out karmic energy, like be the exorcists together. That's why you're separated, because in between things will be getting cleared out automatically, because you're always trying to gravitate together, and whatever is coming in between you all, any kind of karmic contracts, any kind of karmic timelines in physical sense, like any events happening, those will basically be up for being blasted off out of existence. Like, this has to go, this event has to go, this event has to go, because counterparts need to come together in the physical. So a lot of corruption and everything starts getting cleared out around you and in between you and everywhere, like, right? So your commitment to figuring this out, King of Swords, and without looking at it as two sides, or just looking at it as a process that is happening, and you're coexisting with that process. And for like, let's say the ecosystem of Earth is providing you with the air to breathe for you to survive, correct? And you are cooperating intelligently, common intelligence, common senses, right? You're cooperating with the breathing. Your brain, your intelligence, your organic intelligence is literally cooperating with the Earth's ecosystem to keep your body alive by breathing, all right? I'm talking about that sort of organic level, like, natural like acceptance of, you are going to feel angry, you are going to be disturbed, you're going to have to say certain things, but it's just a part of the process. Basically trusting the process. Let's see, in the past we had the Six of Pentacles, balance and harmony. This stage was achieved, like, it was unlocked. Seven of Pentacles, 6, 7, look at that. 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. I see a lot of divine counterparts reaching that. So this past is 6, present is 7, and then the 10th. And today is the 10th day, the Shera. So yeah, abundance. So they go around like giving people leaves, okay, leaves. So there was this tree that they had, the Pandavas from Mahabharata had stored their something. It's something about that. Like, it's about, you go and it's like you steal the leaves from the tree and it's considered as gold, okay? It's considered gold and it's distributed. So it's given to other people. Is today that day? Or is it during Diwali? No, today's the day. Yeah. It's definitely about that, the weapons and their wealth. And they were going to be identified. It would be like a signal if they were in exile, so people had to loot that. It's something, with Hindu celebrations and festivals, there are a lot of stories attached to that one day, and the significance is important, right? So basically look at, so in the future, like all of that which you had to let go of and possibly live like, in a hermit mode, or like, give up all your material world benefit and live a simple life. And you realize that, oh my God, in that simplicity, you found the magic of life, like, of creation, life forces. Look at her, like, holding the grapes. Now, she's not looking at whether it's sour or not, because she couldn't reach it. Look at her, it's in her grasp, and she's looking at it, observing it, adoring it. And the cat's like gone near the pentacle. The cat's the accountant, whereas the human is basically admiring creation itself, nature, and how it all comes full circle. That's what I'm getting. Like, you invested in basically observing the flow of life, or life flow forces within your own system, in nature, possibly, in a very simple. I see a lot of people just dedicating all of their time, deciding to, with complete awareness, dedicating a lot of time to observing beauty of nature and being happy with the fact that they are being taken care of. They don't have to go around proving that they are the purpose of their existence, or it's not about, even if it's about, it's pentacles. It's like 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and then on top we have the Temperance card. Like, you're letting that information go in and out. Okay, money is being invested, money is being made, money is being invested, something is being grown, and then the profits are being distributed in the locality. This is that vision that is bringing us into balance, that is coming together. And only after having practiced being content for a prolonged period in life, by living with what you have. I think some of you might have noticed, like, in comparison, your paychecks, whatever your earnings, or whatever money you had in your hand was so much lesser than other people, but you were the most content because you were in the part of the process where you really did not need more than that, and you were being given. You had access to whatever was needed. I'm not talking about penny pinching. I'm not talking about saving. I'm not even talking about budgeting. It's sort of budgeting, but it's like natural process. It's just avoiding excessive, like, larger figures, larger numbers, because there's something ugly about that, something minimalistic and something simplistic. Like, there is something ugly about inflation, right? Because there's too many digits, there's too much clutter in what you're seeing. When you simplify it, when it's smaller, when it's minimized, right? That is the beauty of minimalism and simplicity, right? It gives you so much more satisfaction and gratitude towards existence itself. Let's see what the Fairy Lenormand cards have for us today, and then we will close this reading, last reading. Thank you everyone for being here in this series with me. Very, very good energies today. Very good energies today. We've cleared out and released so much, and now we can actually focus on creating the abundance, using creative forces, life forces to heal, replenish ourselves after a long, hard battle. In Sagittarius season, yes. Like I said, I think, people are going to feel much more healthier and wealthier, and have had restored the capacity to reinvest, or, yeah, look at that, 31. Sun, Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to stop at that. Lilies, King of Spades. That's the King of Swords here again. Right, a 9 of Hearts. That is the 9 of Cups. It's a number 1 card. So we have 31 here, and we have 30 and 1 here on the table. And then we have the Child, which is the Jack of Spades, which is the Page of Swords, which is a 13 card. So that's a mirror number 31, 13, right? And then we have 14, number 14 card, Fox, 9 of Clubs. That is the 9 of Wands. Your commitment will be tested. There's a test here, but it's the starting point is where you've achieved super intelligence. Okay, you can, like, you know, this is like the Frog Prince. Super intelligence. The form doesn't matter. Intelligence can change it. You don't even have to go and go kiss the frog. There's something about intelligence morphing, change it. Oh, okay. You're changing your physical dimensions to be more suitable, even your environment. Not bad. You started changing that. Great. Messenger, you are going to get this. There's a prophetic message that's coming through. It's going to come through. This is something about there's a forest where basically the narcissist souls, right? They lost their soul when they were a child. And there's a forest where these souls, basically their spirit, are lingering around. This is spirit world. There's some message coming in from the spirit world. There is a physical location where, you know, this can be accessed. These spirits are not hostile. They could be. Yeah, they could be hostile as well. But there's definitely some children who were actually physically abandoned there, and they've possibly recently, and they're possibly finding their way back. You're going to hear news about this. And this is 13 and 14. Something that was set aside for you to benefit you at the age of 14 is now presenting itself physically in the consciousness of the person who's supposed to hand over your trust fund or profits or whatever, like, you know, to you. Yes. At the age of 13, you might have gotten sent away somewhere, or you might have not been at home when you were 13. And at 14, somebody it was decided that you would get this sum of money to continue on living outside of home, build your home at a very early age, be independent, be outside, but then it might have not happened for a very long time because somebody decided to keep it a secret because you might have been too young. And then if people knew that you had that kind of money when you were a child, then they might harass or trouble you, you know. So there could also be a dark negative energy space, like, you know, it's trying to impersonate your energy, because they feel that if they impersonate your energy, that material world, well, like, you know, if they basically mislead you or at the age of 13, there were a lot of attempts at misleading you away, leading you astray, okay, leading you astray. there is some information regarding that coming forward, and then you're going to understand why this this person couldn't communicate this information about, like, you know, this the Sun card is the ultimate abundance. After that, like, you really you even surpass the level of giving back to the community and things like that. It's just existence consciousness bliss till you pass on in your sleep. You become you are completely detached from the give and take scheme of this world, right? And it takes a lot of transformation and divine intervention. Like, that is the Temperance card for me. Your energies, your physical energies your physical environment needs to be of stillness for that process to happen. Your body needs to be still. You need to be still for this to happen, right? For this sort of correction, course correction, for this sort of information to be handed over to you. You need to be in a space of extreme stillness and calmness. Okay, so yeah, this is what we have for the last day of Navratri, and I will see you in the next one, which I'm going to be recording today at the first table that I started recording the readings. That's going to be in the backdrop. See you in the next one.